Hello, hello. This is Kaelyssa in CID Shadows, not modern, CID Shadows. And it is against Strakov 2 in Armored Core with 2 units of Shocktroopers, a unit of the Sanguine Bond guys with the hammers, Antioch. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. My opponent corrected me several times, so I'm pretty positive I'm pronouncing his name wrong. And a Victor. And there's a solo way back there in the very back. That's the Gobber that has the wagon for cover, and then the assault troopers. So this is turn one. There's my advance deployment, and there's his advance move. I go first. I try and stay out of his 13-inch threat range, and that's with Desperate Pace and Quicken. Now, something important to note, he wants to take territory this turn, and he's going to be popping feet. If he just walks up and puts out Quicken, then he'll have to use his reposition 5 to get in a good spot where he can catch his whole army by feet. So he doesn't want to do that. He wants to use stealth because otherwise Kaelyssa will kill him, and so he's not going to be able to put out Quicken. So he really only has an 11-inch threat range. But I haven't played his list enough, and I didn't know that's how his order of activations was going to work. So I could have had my models even farther forward. Several key mistakes in this deployment. Kaelyssa's not far enough forward, and my Hydras aren't far enough forward. My Hydras are loaded, and they're going to be fully loaded for next turn, but they're not far enough forward to start threatening the caster. And that's a key part of a Kaelyssa's attrition play that I should have been taking advantage of. I should have run them first thing, and then put my other Mage Hunters around them so that the 5-inch scatters from Victor wouldn't, just hit the Hydra and kill a whole bunch of things around it reliably. So those are already my regrets. I'm set up so that if he wants to run in and jam me and pop feet, my infiltrators can go in and hit him. Like I've got my infiltrators and my strike force spaced out together so that there's lots of charge lanes for infiltrators to kill stuff in his run distance. Same thing over here. It's a very calculated move. I see a lot of players with tanky armies like this try and grab territory and feet and stay safe. So he drifts an AoE, and it does not kill Mage Hunter Assassin, but spoilers, she's on fire. She has 2 boxes, and it's straight dice. She dies to fire next turn. He ran. This is the mistake that we both talked about, and he thinks, and I agree with him, that his mistake was his shock troopers should not have run. They ran over here, and they ran over here. And his demolition, or the guys with the hammers that have the shatter, they did the sanguine bond, and he popped feet and positioned himself right there behind with that wall with Strakov 2. Victor is scared of being backlashed to death, so he's just going to sit there for the rest of the game behind that wall and shoot at stuff. And we also think this is sort of a mistake because Victor is a big part of this list and can't really do much each turn back there. So, nothing is in shield wall. That's a pretty big deal. So my turn. I go in and I killed a lot of his stuff. I killed a couple of Manowar over here. I didn't touch any of his dudes that have the hammers because I didn't want to trigger vengeance. And I killed about 3 Manowar over here. Narn killed one and sprinted way over there. I did some CRAs with Mage Hunters. I put Blur on these infiltrators because I thought he was going to shoot that Manowar in the middle, clear off all the infiltrators with his Victor, and then have those having those shock troopers start charging in. I popped feet for stealth and no charging. And my opponent thought about this turn for a little bit. Oh, Kaelyssa has refuge. I forgot to mention that. Eiryss just shot down a shock trooper. There's that tanker that has the armor-piercing gun right there. So my opponent thought about this for a little bit. He decided he wanted to leave 1 infiltrator alive with each unit, so that way they get the defense bonus, and I can't CRA because he's a little bit worried about guns, and he's going to put himself in shield wall. And same thing over here. Funny thing is, there's a Mulan quote. How many people does it take to deliver a message? and it's only one, right as the archer shoots the other. So basically, there's no reason to have this many infiltrators over here for the engagement bonus. So he kills down quite a few of them and leaves just what he needs to stay alive. Strakov is going to stay right where he is behind that wall. Conquest is going to, and I believe this will be next picture. He floated an AoE. He aimed at the objective, which was stealth. It landed right about where the center of this is. It caught Eiryss, 2 Mage Hunter Strike Force, Kaelyssa, and the objective. And he boosted damage, and I believe he kills all of them, except for he does a couple of points to the objective, and Kaelyssa just shaves the damage. Eiryss is now dead. Sad story. So yeah, that's... And then he also moves up his hammer dudes, and he wants to beat the crap out of that objective so that he can score a point, and I can't heal up Kaelyssa. His game plan for winning this game now, because he thinks I'm winning on attrition, he's also starting to go down on clock. His game plan is to have Kaelyssa basically burn to death and have the game stall out. So don't get assassinated, don't lose on scenario, and just have Kaelyssa burn to death. So my turn. Basic plan is kill a whole bunch more dudes. Hydra's going to come up here and beat up those two. Mage Hunter Infiltrators are going to charge some more people. Strike Force are going to shoot some more people. Narn's going to go kill some more people. Over here, Infiltrators are going to move out of the way, kill some more people. Strike Force is going to shoot some more people. And I'm just going to keep adding in Infiltrators a couple at a time with the combo strikes. Same over here. I'm not committing all my Infiltrators. I'm just peppering them in one by one. And I've been really happy with the way Infiltrators have been performing. They've been chewing through a lot of really good stuff. I'm very happy with post-CID Infiltrators. That's more or less what happens. I was hoping... Oh yeah, I score this zone over here with my Strike Force. I put a couple of shots into Victor, didn't really do much damage, and I used Phantom Hunter with these Mage Hunter Strike Force, because I figure at this point he's never going to take stealth off. I use Phantom Hunter, and I shoot that Demolition Core guy. There was 2 of them. One of them was the Antioch, the 2-man unit that hands out Desperate Pace and Tough and that stuff. I shot out Antioch with them, and I think a Hydra shot out. This Hydra shot out and finished the rest of the damage on him. Kaelyssa shot some more stuff and is chilling out right there. And now... Oh. My opponent is very graciously letting me know how he feels about me. That Victor comes up and takes out a little bundle of Mage Hunter Infiltrators. I think he kills like 5 of them. Comes up and beats up the Hydra a little bit. Hydra, I believe, loses his force field and gets full camp again. And some more Infiltrators die. The Gobber, which is being proxied as a troll champion, it looks like, is up there in the zone trying to be annoying. So, my turn. Things that are going to happen. Strakov 2 is still back there, so I'm not going to assassinate him just because, I mean, it's still kind of a lot of work. Phantom Hunter can ignore cover, but I'm having to, it's just still so much work. I don't want to. I'm doing okay on attrition. I want him to come out after me. I debate putting Backlash on Victor, but decide not to. Because it would put Kaelyssa in the danger zone. And a lot of things would have to happen. Like, Hydra is going to have to successfully kill or chuck away that Strike Tanger and that Hammer dude. And then, yeah, just too many things would have to happen. But all these Mage Hunter Strike Force and Narn are going to charge the Victor and more than half health it. Over here, Infiltrators are just going to charge and beat up on... That's the special solo that gives out Desperate Pace. Gonna beat up on him some. And over here, I'm gonna clear this zone. Kaelyssa sacrifice movement. She shot out that Gobber because she put Phantom Hunter on herself to ignore cover. And then she also shot out one of these guys over here. And then she pretty much refuges to the same spot. I clear that zone and I start scoring on the left. Score is now 2-1. I scored 1 over here last turn. I scored 1 on this left zone. And he killed my objective, bringing it to 2-1. Oh, Hydra came over here. killed that demo or the guy with the hammer on the left, and threw the tanker into that guy that's a demo corps, but he's not actually a demo corps. He's the flag bearer for the Antioch unit. So they're both knocked down. And that's what this looks like. So his turn. He misplayed return fire. He thought it was supposed to happen in the maintenance phase. But I mean, it would have been the same because Hydra came up and shot Victor. Victor would have, instead of shooting back at Hydra, he would have shot and killed all these Mage Hunter Strike Force because the deviation couldn't happen. Instead, he did in the maintenance phase and killed all those Mage Hunter Strike Force. And it's time for Strakov to come out because I'm going to win on scenario over here. There's just not things he can put into that zone. So he's going to try and bait me in for a bad assassination run and hope that I fail it. So he does some work over here, gets a lot of the Mage Hunter Strike Force. And yeah, so Kaelyssa, this Hydra right here doesn't have its generator. The Arcanist died from a drift that was in range to repair it. So I can't make any shots with its guns. So Hydra's just going to get out of the way, and Hydra's just going to get out of the way and do some melee damage to some stuff over there. This Hydra's going to get Phantom Hunter. Kaelyssa, I gave her Phantom Hunter. I didn't need to give her Phantom Hunter, though, because she can already see stealth with True Sight. And they both take shots at Strakov. Kaelyssa, I believe, let's see, she puts 2 there, 4 there, so she's got 2 on her, and Refuge was up-capped. She boosts to hit. It hits. She pulls off a focus. So she's got 2 focus now. Damage rolls okay. It does like 3 damage or something. He just takes it. And then she buys and boosts again, and she hits. She pulls off a focus. She uses that to boost damage, and that gets rid of his last focus because I pulled off 2, and he had to shave the 3rd one. So he's down no focus and 3 damage. Hydra sacrifices movement, shoots, is straight dice, rolls a 12, which is his boxes left, and kills him. If not, Kaelyssa had refuged out of the way to safety, and I was just going to continue rolling my dudes over there. He had also clocked out. That 5.17 is negative time. I still had 12 minutes on clock. It was turn 5. That Victor is going to be a pain for me if that assassination run didn't pan out. I'm going to have to bring Mage Hunter Strike Force over, or Infiltrators, one or the other, because one of them has to score, or I'd just have Kaelyssa go over there and start scoring that circle. But they'd have to go over there and start working on it. Hydra would probably have died. Even though I felt great on attrition this game, it's a red game. Attrition never truly, I think, feels great, because he still has a half-health Victor that I have to deal with. Scenarios should start going my way, though, in this game. Since I'm ahead, I'm scoring again, and we're going to go to turn 7, and I'm probably going to win on turn 7 on scenario. So, we had a talk after this game. I think I like this Kaelyssa list. I like how it performs. I like the constant threat of assassination that it has. I like the way Infiltrators perform. I really like CRA on the Mage Hunter Strike Force. It's a good drop, I think, for when they have stealth and Ron can't assassinate them, or when I need line of sight denial. Having said that, we talked about his Manowar list some and decided that the way it's set up right now is only really for clearing armor. It doesn't really do so well, and even that's kind of iffy. It doesn't really do so well into infantry swarms. So he, instead of having the tanker with the armor-piercing gun, he wants the tanker with the sprays. Instead of having the dudes with hammers, he wants the dudes with chainsaws that have the guns that put out the AoEs. And instead of having the Victor, he wants the creeping barrage conquest. And that's where he wants to be meta relevant. It was informational for me. It was informational for him. I got to see how Armored Core works. Turn 1, if he had just shield walled up and not moved so far, I think it would have been a much different outcome. My guns would just bounce off of him besides the Hydras for the most part. And I would just be jamming him up a little bit. But yeah. Let us know what you thought. It was a fun game. My opponent's a great guy to play. He's pretty good at this game. And unfortunately, the fire roll went out on Kaelyssa right away. So she didn't die from fire like 3 turns later, because that is a thing. That happens. You can't use your focus to shave fire damage rolls because you drop your focus and then you make the fire damage roll and then you replenish your focus. And so if you've got fire on your caster, you can just die from fire. It is completely a thing. She's only armor 14, so it's dice off 2. It can just keep stacking up and up and up. I would have to be using my focus to shave or to heal 1 point of damage each turn rather than do cool things. He feels like he misplayed Victor because Victor never really got into the fight. Later on, he started doing stuff, and he's starting to carry the game right now, but he could have been doing things much earlier on. So let us know what you thought. It was a great game. Thanks for watching.